Hey everyone, welcome to another video with your Hedgehog Hollow box. I hope you're all doing great. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get a stamp or a die and I just have an instant idea of something that I want to do. So today I'm going to show you exactly what that was. We're going to be using the mixed media tool set from Tim Holtz. And the first thing you're going to do is, if you're using the same tool set, so your tool, and it can work on any mat, but I'm using the glass mat it's designed with. The tool hooks over the top or the side of your acrylic mat. I can't zoom out with this lens to show you, but hopefully you understand kind of what I'm trying to explain. Now you want to line up the side of your card with the side of the ruler. The grid on your mat is square to itself, but due to tolerances and things in manufacture, it may not be square to your ruler. It wasn't designed to be square in that. This is just designed to give you a nice straight edge. So if you do want to square it up to the edge of that ruler, because you're going to move it along the glass mat, which is straight, and then you're going to pop your rickrack piece on here. My friend Hannah reminded me I have all these quilting rulers. I really need to go and dig them out. They also work great for lining up things. But what I'm going to do here is just place my rickrack, and I'm using that stitched rickrack edge. So it only has the cutting on one side. Let me show you. So it has the cutting edge on one side. You do have a die that has the rickrack, so you can cut both sides. You also have this finer, like a pinking shear type edge. But we're going to put this right up against there. You can either use a piece of masking tape, or I like to use post-it tape. And I'm going to stick this down, whoops, and stick it to the edge like this. Again, I'm going to peel off that masking tape, like so. And I am going to pop this onto my Gemini plates, and I'm going to pop it through my Gemini machine. So when it comes out your machine, you're going to have this beautiful edge on here, and it has some beautiful stitch details in there as well. So you could also keep this piece. It would be a really cool piece to use across a card. You could make it look like a crown or a tiara. You could use it as a masking stencil. Actually, let's do that. Let's use it as the masking stencil for the card that we're going to create. So I'm going to stick down again my card. And actually, I'm going to stick it closed so that it doesn't kind of come up on there again. I'm going to grab that piece that we just created, and I'm going to take a Distress Oxide, and I'm going to use the Salty Ocean. So you could use any blue ink. You could use the regular Distress inks in Salty Ocean. I'm going to use these Clarity brushes. I am super excited. I'm stalking my mailman. He hasn't arrived today. For the Nuvo stencil brushes. They're very similar to the Clarity ones, but at a better price point, because these are rather pricey. And I did do a comparison on them a little while ago. So I'm just kind of dabbing off a little bit, and I'm going to now start kind of working some of my waves into here. And now I'm going to move this down a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dab off onto my mat. And of course, whatever you happen to use to work on is going to work fine for you. I work on the glass mat. You could work on a non-stick mat for this if you wanted to. And we're going to go back up here. So every time you move this stencil, you're going to get a little line, wiggly line like this. And I'm going to do one more. I'm going to offset them slightly so they're not completely straight. Like this. And then I'm just going to take some of that ink from the side and kind of blend it out. So you see how I've got an uneven edge here at the top? I'm going to do the same thing here at the bottom. So it kind of looks like you have waves and things under there. I'm going to give my table a quick wipe down, and all I do to clean up my surface, because I know lots of you have asked me about that, is when I'm clearing up, it depends what I've used. If I've used something like glue pens or anything like that, I'll do a spray of isopropyl alcohol, and then I do a spray of water both ways, whether I'm just using things that are alcohol based or if I'm using inks, but sometimes I will do that spritz of isopropyl first of all. So that piece is pretty much done. Here I have my little cute girl from Coastal Cuties. I popped her through my scan and cut here. And so if you are colouring with something that you have then popped through the scan and cut, you can put just a little bit of repositionable tape underneath. So this is the Tombow repositionable tape, and if you've watched these videos you may think that I've kind of cut them up quite a lot because I haven't had things to hand. I recently moved my room around, so I'm still kind of learning where I want things to be, so not everything is right where I would maybe have it straight away. So let's choose some nice skin tones. I'm going to go with an E00, the E93, a 30 and a 31. So these are my skin tones. I'm going to start with my E00. I've stamped this out using a hybrid ink so I can use my Copics with it and it's not going to bleed on me. I have left this probably for 5 to 10 minutes while I'm kind of just doing this. I stamped it out right before I started the video. Don't forget their arms, the little piece under their bathing suit as well. And then we're going to go in with our E30. And these are some snugger areas to kind of colour, so I'm just going to do this quite lightly. I just want to make sure she doesn't look too flat. Particularly around the hairline there. And then we're going to use that E93 for a nice little bit of blush, like so. And we'll go back with our lightest shade and just blend in that blush. And inside our mouth I'm going to use R30, I think. Let's see how that comes out. Now we've got something brighter, so we're going to go with RV21. Inside of her mouth. So now let's think about her hair. I think I'm going to do her hair in some nice brown colours. So I'm going to go with E53, E55 and E57. So let's start with our 53. Now she does have some little hair bubbles in up here. So that's that. We're going to avoid her goggles if we can. Like so, and like so. Then we're going to go in with that E55, and you could use watercolour pencils, you could use colour pencils, whatever your favourite colouring medium is. And of course if you don't have the same Copic colours I have, just use what you have. If you have a favourite blending trio, then go with that. I'm using that E57 just in a few areas to kind of just add some blending in. I go back through those colours. Like that. So there she is. Let's colour in her goggles. I'm going to just use my V in here. You may hear my neighbour. He is mowing his grass. It's an absolutely stunning day as I'm videoing this. And so what I did was put the E53 in the middle of her goggles because you would see through them into her hair. I'm going to use a pretty B23 and B24 for her bathing suit. So start with that lighter colour. Go with, just add some shadows. That darker one. And I'm just going to grab, looking in my box here. So I think it was on Marsha's card, she added a sun to her swimsuit. I'm going to add a little black heart in there. So you can decorate the swimsuit with either pattern stamps or just doodle a little design on there. Now for her little ring, let's use something really fun. Let's go with a purple. So let's expand on those purples we used. We used a VO4, so let's use a VO1 and a VO5. So the VO1 we're going to colour all the way around. Like this. We're then going to go to and so you'll see I'm trying to make this look nice and round. Let's go with that lighter colour in the front here. And I'm actually just going to grab a VO9. I want a little bit more around the back there. Go to our VO5. It's going to be quite dark because it's in the water and our little girl is on it. So kind of fading them out towards the front. So you see there it looks like a nice kind of round piece there. We'll also use that VO5 for her little hair bubble and for the string on both sides of her goggles. One thing I did miss are her ears. We'll colour those in too. So I'm going to now just pick her up like that. I am going to grab my foam tape and I'm going to put some on the back of her. So this is a piece I'd used on an earlier project. I'm just trimming it down. And I'm going to double stack that foam. So I'm going to take that piece, this one over the top. Let's grab that card base back that we've already created. Peel that tape off too. And so I'm going to be putting her here in the middle, like this. Now in that stamp set you do have some pretty little splashes, like this. I'm just going to kind of peel those off. And we're going to grab another acrylic block and my black Nuvo. Oh, no, that's not my black Nuvo, that's my black one. And so let's pop these onto our acrylic block. And so I'm going to carefully, while she's there and she's not stuck down, so I'm just going to work out where I want those splashes to be. And the splashes go both ways, which I think is just awesome the way that they've created this. So we know that that's kind of where she's going to fit perfectly. And I'm going to add a few more splashes in. And so you'll kind of see how they all fit together. They kind of look wrong if you put them in the wrong place, I've noticed. I'm just popping them back on that acetate that they came on so I don't lose them. Always find that super hard with little stamps. You feel like you've cleared them up and got rid of them somewhere by accident. So in that set even, you have a Hi There Cutie. You also have your sentiment stamp set with the rainbows that has lots and lots of different sentiment options on there for you as well. So you could probably combine these. I'm having a look. So we could put for you cutie. I'm going to take my for you and my cutie, and we're going to stick our little girl down onto here. And I noticed that I've just kind of got a little bit of black over her, so I'm going to take my lightest shade here, and I'm just going to kind of blend that in a little bit more. Now there is a downside with hybrid inks. You cannot get rid of it all that easily. So sometimes you do make mistakes. I think that's not that noticeable. If it's something that really bothers you, you saw how quick and easy it is for you to colour her in. She's a really simple one. Some great little colouring techniques. So I'm just going to put for you down here. I'm going to put my cutie. And yes, I'm doing all of this freehand, which I know some of you kind of wince when you see me do that. And I'm going to use the little heart in that rainbow set as well. Put that onto my block. Like that. And I'm going to add, of course, some Nuvo drops here. Like that. Let's pop the lid on our ink. The other thing I want to do is use some Morning Dew, and I'm going to pop that here onto her goggles. And one final thing, and I should have done this before I put my Nuvo drops on, but I didn't. And this was the whole point of us putting the really cute little side piece on. So again, I'm going to take a piece of this gorgeous rainbow paper, and I'm just going to have a quick scroll through. I'm going to use the dotty one, and so I'm going to cut a 1.5 inch strip that is 5.5 inches long. We're going to put some of our double-sided tape on the back. And down each side. And we're going to pop this in here. We're going to line it up with the edge of our card base, like so that you have that really pretty piece and your overlay there. So really fun card as well. And of course you have that little bit of spotty on the inside. I notice that I just need to trim, and what I'm doing is I'm popping my scissors on here and popping them against that card base, which will allow you to just trim like that. So I hope you've enjoyed that card as well. Another way to use your subscription box. Don't forget to check out all the design team cards. Absolute fab ideas. And I love some of the things they've come up with detachable ideas, making waves with the paper, all sorts of fun things that you can do. See you again soon, everyone. Happy stamping. Bye.